Honorable Elizabeth Muli.
Honorable Speaker,
You are running away from the committee. I've been asking for members of the Committee on Water, and you do not want to show up. If the burden is too much, you allow another Muungano member to serve.
Offline. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I was around the assembly from 9 a.m. in the morning. And I went to the committee, Honorable Speaker, only to find that my chair was chairing the devolution committee, which the committee was doing vetting for the members of the board. So, Honorable Speaker, I was there alone, and I could not do anything. So,
you did not convene?
We did not convene, Honorable Speaker.
When will you convene? Your chairperson had requested to lay a paper today at 2:30.
Yep.
So, will I be asking too much to allow you to lay that paper tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning?
Honorable Speaker, because my chair is around, he has finished what he was doing, you kindly allow us tomorrow at 2:30. Not in the morning, 2:30 tomorrow.
At 2:30?
Yes.
Fair enough. Honorable members, I have a communication to make. I wish to recognize the Speaker's galleries, the guests to the County Assembly of Makueni, who are senior citizens, meaning that they have retired from public service and private sector. One, Stephen Chande and Stephen Zonzi. They are welcome to follow the proceedings of the County Assembly of Makueni, and they may leave at their own time. You are so welcome, and if you meet your colleagues who are in the retirement area, please encourage them to come and participate at the gallery, listen to us, leave comments, interact with us, and give back to this beautiful county of Makueni. Thank you. You are so welcome. Next order.
Order number 6. Notices of motion.
Chairperson Committee on Water to give a notice of motion tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Honorable Jagi, what is your point of order?
Sir, I'm raising up to the standing order number 77/3 that said that a member 77/3 that said that a member should be in a committee as soon as the swearing in is done. Mr. Speaker, knowing very well that we have a court order.
Just hold on, Honorable Jagi. I will allow you under order number 7, which is statements.
Okay.
We are now in order number 6. Okay. So when we get to order number 7, I will give you an opportunity. Clerk, next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Member for What and Sewer Ward to request for a statement from the Chairperson Committee on Infrastructure, Transport, Public Works and Housing regarding implementation of the water affordable housing. Honorable Felix Mateso.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 392 of the County Government Act 2012, revised 2020, and the standing orders of 50 of Makueni County Assembly standing orders, I raised to request for statement from the committee chairperson on infrastructure and public works, housing and energy regarding the implementation of water affordable housing. Mr. Speaker, the national government through the State Department of Housing and Urban Development is implementing the affordable housing project in urban areas, including Water Town. The affordable housing program is targeting delivery of decent affordable housing to low and middle income houses in the urban areas. Mr. Speaker, While I appreciate the objective of the program and progress of the said project in Watertown, I'm concerned of the inclusion of water and sanitation component in the project. Watertown has no sewer line system in place, and with the housing project almost coming to completion, there is no adequate provision for reliable source of water and the sewer line system in the project. This may pose a health hazard and environmental pollution within the town, Watertown, and its environment. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Chairperson Committee on Infrastructure and Transport, Public Works, Housing and Energy should therefore clarify on the following. 1, the number of housing units being put up in the project, and 2, whether the project has a provision of, for water and the sewer line system in the bill of quantities, and 3, if the above is no, whether there are provisions that have been included and when. Sorry, 3, if no, whether there are provisions to have them included and when. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairperson Committee on Infrastructure. Honorable Galeli, you're representing the chairperson?
Speaker, I don't even sit in that committee.
So hold your horses.
Okay.
Chairperson, Vice Chair. Members of the Committee on Infrastructure.
Honorable Speaker, we will bring a response in 14 days.
Honorable Mateso, I find 14 days sufficient for the committee to respond to that statement. On the same, what is it, member for Murale Malwood?
Honorable Speaker, I stand in addition to what Honorable Mateso, the member for Watens, you are saying, on matter of distribution of function between the national and the county governments. It is prudent to get the response whose function is the housing function, because I understand the housing functions as stipulated in Schedule 4, it is squarely under county government. We would also wish to know why is it that the national government is undertaking function that is purely under county government. Thank you.
Son, you have a word? Well, what you have indeed indicated is that housing is a function of the county government, and therefore Honorable Felix Mateso is in order to raise a statement on the status of wastewater management or rather sewerage system for the upcoming housing project by the national government. Now, for purposes of determining why the national government is conducting county government functions without a memoranda or an agreement, I think this assembly can only escalate that matter to the Senate as a way of message or a petition. So should you want us to deal with that matter, then you will move this assembly to move the Senate. So then the Senate can ask the cabinet secretary responsible, who is under Kenya Kwanza government, to answer that question.
I support the 2010 Constitution and strongly support devolution. Anybody undermining devolution is not a friend of this nation. Thank you.
We hear you. Member for, what is it, member for Ilimawad? Honorable Jonathan?
Has that issue been finalized? Because I want
yes,
to
I've indicated that the member can only move this county assembly to either by way of petition or a message to the Senate for determination, because we cannot invite a cabinet secretary, so to speak.
But
This is
Mr.
what we
Speaker,
require.
you will not be alone. We'll join in that because from those who have experience and those who can be able to see what's happening, actually devolution is under threat. If this kind of cross-match of functions is going to be upheld, especially in some of these functions. Even in roads and transport, you know very, very clearly. There is also a mismatch, but there is no problem. We shall address and cross the bridge when that time comes. However, Mr. Speaker, I know there's an issue which you had already ruled about. And actually, I'm sorry that I had walked out a bit, the Speaker, after coming from a meeting where we are doing vetting. Because the paper which you ruled that we bring it tomorrow, we had already ruled that we bring it today by the previous Speaker who was sitting there. And the paper is already ready. So I don't know, I would ask for your indulgence if I could lay this paper so that the business and the client we are representing is not hurt beyond.
I had made a ruling on that matter. I called on the chair, was absent. The vice chair was absent. Honorable Kawembe didn't know about that paper. Honorable Katumo didn't know, committed to lay that paper tomorrow at 2:30 when it's ready, because you are engaged elsewhere. And member from Masongaleni did not take responsibility. No, I'm saying, now you have appeared with a paper having been adopted by the committee, but 3 of your members did not indicate as such. Nevertheless,
Speaker, you see, we cannot be held culprit by absurdism.
Is it not, Honorable Speaker? Thank you.
Honorable Francis Munyao.
Mr. Speaker, I'm really perturbed by the sentiments of the Chair Water, because he has rightly said that those 2 members are serial absentees. That's very serious. Mr. Speaker, I'm almost believing that because for a moment, those 2 members said they did not meet and they did not adopt even the report. I'm surprised to be told that, Mr. Speaker, this report was adopted on Monday. So can they clarify whether they are really serial absentees or they are not? Thank you.
Elizabeth, then member from Masongaleni.
Honorable Speaker, I want the chair to clarify whether he is in order to indicate that this particular report was adopted on Monday last week, because I remember on Wednesday when he withdrew this particular paper, he said he noticed there were errors in the report. So who has adopted the fresh report? Or he has brought it again with the errors that he had seen then, Honorable Speaker?
Now that raises a fundamental issue. Before we go to the points of order, Chairperson, may you clarify?
After I left here on Monday, the members who were present, we had that kind of discussion. Because what was there were errors, and we corrected the errors, and I instructed the clerk to correct the errors. The report I have here is already the correct copy. However, the ones who are not there on Monday, they did not partake of that business. Does that hold the committee at ransom because members were not there? 2, when the chair is there, very clearly, it doesn't have to follow members where they're going to meet or what they're going to do. The thing is, I informed her and I told the chair that this report, I found it to have some errors. Yes, not unless you want to indulge into the business of the committee.
As honorable members, in the interest of order, member, in the interest of time, you know your allegations were specific to member from Masongaleni and member. Order. I had communicated that earlier, around 3 members had indicated that you have not convened. And you have indicated as such that they are perennial absentee. Member from Masongaleni has indeed confirmed that he has been present on occasion when you have been absent. Therefore, in my view, that is imputed improper motive of that member. And therefore, you withdraw that and
by the road kind of statements. So I withdraw the statements. and unconditionally. And I say that you are wonderful members. Keep being wonderful members, and we move on.
Member for Water and Sewer Ward to request for a statement from the Chairperson, Committee Environment and Climate Change regarding bush clearing of the undeveloped plots in Watertown. Proceed, Honorable Mateso.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provision of standing orders 185.3 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2011, Section 39.2 of the Government Act of 2012, revised in 2020, and the Standing Order 50 of Makueni County Assembly Standing Orders, I raised to request for statement from the Chairperson Committee on Environment and Climate Change regarding bush clearing of the undeveloped plots within the Watertown. The Speaker, after May 2025 rains, there is increase of uncleared bushes in the undeveloped plots within the town. This further poses a security threat since it serves as an hideout for thieves and a stores for stolen property. It is worth noting that the Makueni County Finance Act 2024 provides for penalties for plots owners with uncleared bushes in their plots under environment, sanitation, and hygiene. Mr. Speaker, sir, the town is slowly creeping into insecure and because of, and among others, these uncleared bushes in the properties within the town. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Chairperson on Environment and Climate Change should therefore clarify on the following. One, whether the department is aware of the uncleared bushes plots in the town and the insecurity posed by the uncleared bushes. Two, what concern has been taken on the affected plots? And three, when the plots will be cleared. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairperson, Committee on Environment and Climate Change. Honorable members, I am aware that the Committee on Environment and Climate Change has administrative issues. Nevertheless, the administrative issues within our committee has nothing to do with the business before us. Therefore, standing orders are very clear. When a business appears before our committee, the members of the committee are at liberty to conduct or appoint one of its members to lead the committee in deliberations. And therefore, a member of the Committee on Environment or the Honorable Mwema, precedence is given first in the order of priority to the member who is most experienced and longest serving that committee. Honorable Mwema.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Today I am happy, so Speaker, we will respond in 14 days.
14 days? Yes, as you manage your administrative, this business has nothing to do with that. When you convene yourself, you invoke provisions of standing orders and give us a response within 14 days.
Honorable Speaker, we have continued to convene ourselves. We are well, we are good.
Well, fair enough, very good. I'm happy to hear that. Chairperson, Budget and Appropriation Committee to respond to statement number 13 of year 2025 from Chairperson Budget and Appropriation Committee regarding implementation of, who was drafting this? Chairperson Budget and Appropriation Committee to respond to statement number 13 regarding implementation of the status of the headquarter project since 2013. Proceed. Honorable Munyao.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the report is not ready. We are waiting for some clarification from the Committee on Transport, and we will present it tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., if you allow, Mr. Speaker.
Tomorrow at 2:30, you are directed to do so.
Thank you,
Chairperson,
obliged.
Committee on Health Services, to respond to statement from Chairperson, Committee on Health Services regarding delayed completion of staff quarters at Mwanyani Dispensary and equipping of a Mali Level 4 hospital in Molale Mali Ward.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We had requested for clarification from the ECM, and the answer came last Friday. Today we had a meeting with the ECM and his team regarding Mutula Care general guidelines, and we were busy, we could not sit down for that. So I request that we can present it on Wednesday, because we'll go through it tomorrow with the committee.
Member from Molale Mali, Chairperson is requesting up to Wednesday.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. They can ensure that we have it on Wednesday. But it is not clear which Wednesday.
Allow me to give it Wednesday of this week at 2:30 p.m.
Thank you.
Next order. Before next order, what is it? Member for Makindu. Before member for Makindu. Member for Chapchapati. Special elect, Honorable Kevin Jagi. What is your point of order?
I raise on standing order number 177, subsection 3, that states that a member should be allocated to committees. On 30th July of this year, we had the Honorable Esther that was sworn in to the assembly under Maendeleo Chapchapati. On 11th of August 2025, we did a demand letter from our party whip requesting for her to be placed in a committee. We also got we're also aware that there's a court order that is barring the composition of committees. So I needed your guidance, because I wanted to ask, because the committee setting is based on party. We need your direction to tell us if a member of Maendeleo Chapchap can resign and let Honorable Esther replace him or her in the committee. Also wanted your guidance on the Special Elect Committee. Kindly.
Fair enough. Even before I make a communication, honorable members, the Special Elect Committee is a committee constituting of the Special Elect members. And therefore, when the Honorable Magdalene Nguluku left us, she left a gap in the Special Elect Committee. And IEBC deleted her name from the register and replaced that name with Esther Mongeli. So I don't think there should be a debate as to whether Honorable Esther Mongeli should sit in the Special Elect Committee. That does not constitute reconstituting of a committee, because IEBC by default has deleted any name indicating forthwith Magdalene Nguluku and replacing thereof with Esther Mongeli. Although I will put that in my detailed communication, I gather that your other question is as to whether, aware that the members are right to serve in committees to execute a role in legislation, representation, and oversight, as to whether positions taken by members from Chapchap Party can be substituted to accommodate that member. Yes, indeed, you have indicated that the slots, and I think what is in question, and the court ruling is to the ratio as it is and as it ought to have been meant to be. So the orders are to status quo of the ratio of the committees to remain as they are at the moment. Now, if you are not delving outside the ratio of Wiper Party versus Muungano Party versus Chap Chap and UDA Party, then you are questioned as to whether a member of Chap Chap Party can be replaced by Honorable Esther while retaining the ratio and not affecting the gender parity. That's your question? Very well. Allow me to, I'll give a detailed communication on or before Wednesday this week. I'll do that, on that part. On the same, I have ruled that I'll give a detailed communication on that matter. Nevertheless, my office is open so that whatever detail you will give or share information may be more useful if I find it so. So that then we don't delve into a discussion on a matter that I've ruled. I'm open to ideas from any member and any view that you feel it is important to be contained in that communication. The speaker is open to advice. You know, you can give advice. As to whether the advice is taken is another department, but you are open. Member for Mackindu Ward, what is your point of order?
To lay a document on a change of my name, and if you may allow, I may use the podium.
Every microphone is available for use. What do you want to use the dispatch table? Or you have many documents? Proceed. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, Mr. Speaker, I sent to table a change of orders of my names. The Speaker also addition of a new name to my ID document details. Mr. Speaker, the document I'm laying to the table include one, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, the documents include one, the affidavit or the statutory declaration.
What is, Honorable Member, what is the subject matter of
Yeah,
your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I had already said I'm laying documents.
Yes, you are laying document in reference to what?
Yeah, on the change of my name and addition of another name.
Or proceed?
Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, it said that the change and also addition of a name, the name which is added is details, and I'm happy you have also mentioned details as you are still talking, Mr. Speaker. The documents, Mr. Speaker, I'm laying, or I'm tabling one, is the affidavit, Mr. Speaker. I'm also giving also the notice. The notice is dated 12th February this year, 2025. That is the notice to the deed poll. I'm also giving the deed poll itself. Mr. Speaker, I'm giving the gazettement, which was dated 31st of March 2025. Gazettement number 3,591. Mr. Speaker, if I may read, because I think this is also very important.
No, we will scrutinize if you lay the table, the document, in the interest of time.
Mr. Speaker, the other thing, I'm also giving my old ID, a copy of my old ID, and also a copy of the new ID. So, Mr. Speaker, I lay.
Proceed. Honorable members, member from Mackindu, straight on a point of order, to lay document to demonstrate that his names have changed from Stephen Zivo Kilonzo to include the name details. So therefore, to read details Kilonzo Stephen Zivo. Now, the documents have been laid. I will peruse. And then I will refer them to the clerk of the county assembly to inquire into this, and then we'll update us. If then they are in order, you will get a formal notification of acceptance and change of your details or particulars within our records. Thank you. Next order. Member from Howard.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'm raising on standing order number 47 and also number 49. They're on the request of statements in the Assembly, particularly Part C of 47, and then Part 2A of 49, whereby, Honorable Speaker, a month or so, or 2 months before, I had requested a statement at this Assembly. And in particular, 47C, you designated that same day that I should table it at the floor of the Assembly. Then on the same day, you referred me to the next day in the morning on hazard, Honorable Speaker, and you advised that I forward it to the clerk, which is 49, 2A. The clerk satisfied himself, but since then, there has been no communication, Honorable Speaker, on my statement from either the House business or even from your office, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, I still interested to know the status of the statement that was forwarded to this Assembly and has not been tabled.
Very well. Honorable members, I give the following directions that the clerk or the pending statements be listed in the order paper, or pending statements, requested statement, be listed in the order paper for tomorrow 9:30, tomorrow 2:30, on Wednesday at 2:30. All of them. All due statements. And that was, there are statements that are under consideration for requests and others that are due. I hope that is clear, and I hope that covers all statements that have been requested to be listed in the order paper, and all pending statements that are due to be in the order paper for tomorrow, distributed between tomorrow 9:30, 2:30, and 2:30 on Wednesday. That is it. Okay. Fair enough. Next order.
Order number 8, motion. The report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports, and Social Services on the consideration of the Makueni County Social Protection Policy 2024.
Chairperson, Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports, and Social Services.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion, that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports, and Social Services on the consideration of Makueni County Social Protection Policy 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on 20th August 2025. Honorable Speaker, I wish to go straight to the executive summary. Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides for social and economic challenges faced by individuals and communities within the county. Key among them, social health, protection, income, poverty, and realize their full potential. The county's social protection policy serves as a roadmap for designing, implementing, and overseeing social protection initiatives. It is designed to guide stakeholders in fostering inclusive participation in social economic development. The guiding principles, Honorable Speaker, the implementation of this policy will be based on the Constitution of Kenya 2010, which guarantees the rights of citizens and mandates of the government to uphold these rights and following core principles, among others. 1, inclusive life cycle approach to address all people in all age brackets. 2, rights-based approach on social protection as provided for in the Constitution and other statutes. 3, equity and non-discrimination and social justice as provided for in Article 24, Sub-Article 4 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And 4, good governance, accountability, and participation. Honorable Speaker, without going into the nitty-gritties of the policy, if you allow me, I will just read the committee observations during the different public participation fora and the committee recommendations thereof. Honorable Speaker, Article 196, 1B of the Constitution of Kenya requires a county assembly to facilitate public participation in involvement in the public participation and involvement in the legislative and other business of the assembly and its committees. The assembly invited members of the public, faith-based organizations, civil society organizations, private sector practitioners, interested parties, and all stakeholders to give their input or written submissions through submissions of memoranda in an advert that was placed in the local dailies on 26th of May, 2025. At the end of the time frame given for submission of a memoranda, no inputs had been received by the committee. The committee considered views from different stakeholders and developed a report with recommendations for adoption. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee considered the policy and established the following. 1, that the policy recognizes the elderly, orphaned, overseas, persons with disability, youth, people with chronic illnesses, women, headed households, street families, widows, widowers, food insecure households, unemployed youth, and other marginalized individuals or groups in the county. 2, the policy serves as a roadmap for designing, implementing, and overseeing social protection initiatives and programs to support vulnerable population to escape poverty and realize their full potential. 3, the policy focuses on enhancing households' capacity to participate, withstand, and adjust to shocks without falling into the poverty trap. The key measures of the county government will undertake, the key measures that the county government will undertake while implementing the policies shall be gender-based violence response, food security, basic income security, climate change mitigation, child protection, financial support to the vulnerable in the society, affordable health care services, among others. 4, the general policy objectives is to enhance universal health care coverage, to improve income, to cushion the poor, ultra-poor, and vulnerable populations against risks and shocks, to facilitate access to complementary programs geared towards socioeconomic empowerment. The policy provides for all county social protection programs being implemented, which include PWD empowerment programs, elderly support programs, OVC programs, Makueni County Child Protection and Development Center, men, women empowerment, menstrual hygiene, support to education, SGBV mitigation and prevention, and youth empowerment. 6, the policy, once approved and implemented, will have a transformative on social protection, especially to the vulnerable persons in the county. 7, the policy is guided by the Kenya Social Protection Policy 2023, which adopts a right-based and life cycle approach to social protection and ensure people have right to basic education, food security, healthcare, and employment. 8, in monitoring and evaluation of social protection interventions, the policy provides for adoption and modification of existing tools, such as the Monitoring and Evaluation Framework and Indicators Handbook, to include social protection indicators the use of programs, the use of program accountability checklists. Further, the policy provides for a shift of focus from measuring the level of change to assessing the program's impact on the well-being of vulnerable groups in the county. The policy shall be reviewed every 5 years or from time to time to ensure it remains relevant to emerging issues and trends at international, national, and county levels. Committee recommendations. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee recommends as follows, that the county government, through the department, champions for increased share coverage for the elderly and the vulnerable in the county, since there are so many elderly people who are yet to register. 2, that all relevant county government departments involved in implementation of social protection policy should improve the existing M&E tools, such as the M&E programs and indicators handbook to include social protection indicators and the use of program accountability checklists. That 3, this assembly approves the Makueni County Social Protection Policy 2024 as attached. I acknowledge the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly for the support offered to enable the committee to develop this report, and the valuable views and input from the members are also appreciated. On behalf of the committee, it is my pleasure and duty to present the Assembly Committee's report on the Makueni County Social Protection Policy 2024 for adoption and approval. I now wish to call Honorable Jennifer Mwandhi to second the motion. Thank you.
Order, honorable members. Order, leader of the minority. Welcome. I now propose a question that the Assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports and Social Services on the consideration of Makueni County Social Protection Policy of the year 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on 20th of August, year 2025. The floor is open for debate. Chairperson, you have no member of your committee who can support your motion. It's also presumed that in seconding a motion, and as Honorable Muthike has indicated earlier, that you only take a bow when you are intending to contribute. So Honorable Jen Mwandhi, when you took a bow, we were expecting that you are creating your time so that you support the motion and the chair when the question is proposed. Your members are over. Yes, Honorable Jen Kitunga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the report of that policy. And Mr. Speaker, this is my 3rd term in this county assembly. And Mr. Speaker, my ward are the marginalized groups, which are covered and their needs being addressed by this policy. So, Mr. Speaker, as I stand here, I am supporting this policy because of the following provisions. Mr. Speaker, there is an element of poverty reduction whereby the policy ensures basic needs such as food, shelter, healthcare are met for the targeted group. Reduced inequality, Mr. Speaker. We suffer inequality in our day-to-day life. It is addressed in that policy. Mr. Speaker, it is also addressing economic stability and growth, targeting the marginalized groups in our community, which are youth, which are children, the elderly, and women, Mr. Speaker. It is also addressing improved health and education outcomes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the policy addresses enhanced social cohesion and political stability. It addresses protection against life risks, empowerment of the marginalized groups, which I have emphasized that they are the groups which I do represent in this honorable house for the terms I have been here, Mr. Speaker. I cannot fail to acknowledge that it enables great participation in the economy and the society, Mr. Speaker. And also the policy promotes formal employment, Mr. Speaker, targeting the groups which are the focus in this policy, Mr. Speaker. By saying so, Mr. Speaker, I strongly support this policy. Thank you so much.
Member for Kikumbulu Southport. Leader of the minority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to also contribute to this very important motion, a motion which is going to help our marginalized people, Honorable Speaker, including the youth, where I have been a youth for quite a long time, even when it comes to looking at the affairs of the vulnerable groups, Honorable Speaker, this policy is going to really help the people of Makueni. Honorable Speaker, I want also to appreciate the efforts of the committee, a committee led by the Honorable Mutindi, my elder, and who has also shown a lot of passion about matters to do with youth and also women, and also my friend, clansmate, Honorable Ketunga and Honorable Josephine, who are also very passionate about this, Honorable Speaker. I want to appreciate the efforts which have been done by the executive to come up with this policy, which will also give rise to a bill in future, Honorable Speaker, so that we can document those matters to do with vulnerable groups, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we failed to get a formal or a documented way of dealing with these groups, Honorable Speaker, and it has been very difficult, even for myself, when I'm handling matters to do with youth and also vulnerable groups, Honorable Speaker. Social welfare has always been a big problem for people of Kikumbulu South, even when we want to help them. Sometimes, Honorable Speaker, since 2017, I have issued more than 100 tents and more than 1,300 chairs, plastic chairs, to vulnerable groups, Honorable Speaker. We've been very consistent, Honorable Speaker. Maybe this group would have helped us, this policy would have helped the people of Kikumbulu and other places to make sure that the consistency which should be shown with these social groups, Honorable Speaker, is well documented, Honorable Speaker. So I think it is coming in the right time when we want to formalize everything so that we can have a uniform way of handling matters to do with these organized and vulnerable groups, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have also gone through the observations, which are also very key in coming up with this policy, Honorable Speaker, and I wish to challenge the committee to come up with a bill very swiftly, Honorable Speaker, so that we can address these matters once and for all, Honorable Speaker. I understand the county of Makueni is a benchmarking county. Many people will come here to benchmark with us, and Honorable Jen is very proud of that. I can see she's smiling all through because she's part of this huge milestone, Honorable Speaker. I know if we task this committee to go ahead and advance this into a bill or consequently an act, Honorable Speaker, we will really have helped the people of Makueni, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you know, these matters are also coming at the right time. The national government has been unable to deal with youth affairs, women affairs. That's why you can see they are trying to address a political issue known as empowerment, Honorable Speaker, where women are given 64 shillings, Honorable Speaker, when they attend these forums, Honorable Speaker. I think it is the high time. It is the high time. I can see the Honorable Jegi is also digesting my matters, Honorable Speaker, very correctly. But I understand they are also going to learn from Makueni County, Honorable Speaker. So if we set the pace for the country, Honorable Speaker, the national government will not be all over the place trying to sort a matter which can be sorted by the counties, Honorable Speaker. And also my neighbor, Honorable Makombe, I know Makombe will also try to initiate something like my friend Honorable Details to include that name so that it can really help when it comes to identity, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Mutunga, my senior, my elder brother, I know they are learning, Honorable Speaker, and he has been very instrumental, even when coming up with solutions towards these organized groups, Honorable Speaker. So I think, Honorable Speaker, I have only looked at the matter in terms of other counties and national government coming to benchmark with county government of Makueni, Honorable Speaker. In 2019, the previous government, headed by the Honorable Professor Kivutha Kibwana, His Excellency Professor Kivutha Kibwana, my party leader, Honorable Speaker, tried to help the youths through Makueni Youth, MES, something known as MES, Honorable Speaker. And it was very difficult because we did not have the framework. Now that Honorable Mutinde has volunteered to give us a small framework, Honorable Speaker, we can build around that framework, then the people of Makueni and Kenya at large will really have appreciated the good efforts by the former German teacher from Boni Girls High School, which is a national school, Honorable Speaker. So I want to congratulate everybody and also your good leadership, Honorable Speaker, for allowing this assembly to come up with very good interventions and tools to help matters to do with governance. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I'm also learning from the committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I wish members will give a big yes when it comes to this being called out by the Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Leader of the majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to support this motion, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the committee for moving with speed to bring this report, which actually gives us a roadmap to passing this particular policy. Honorable Speaker, the policy will ensure that what we have been doing as a county government is actually documented, including the PW empowerment programs, which have been happening, elderly support programs, OVC support, Makueni County Child Protection Development Center. I think it will now appear officially on the policy. Honorable Speaker, we had a policy which was called Social Protection Policy 2021. And Honorable Speaker, as this particular policy identifies, Honorable Speaker, I wish you were hearing this. This particular policy identifies the challenges facing the people of Makueni County. And one of the biggest challenges, Honorable Speaker, is inadequate implementation of policy, legal, and regulatory frameworks on social protection. Honorable Speaker, I think I would wish when now the committee comes up with this policy, with the notes, the moving notes for this policy, I think we should look at that particular point because we have passed. And as I looked at some documents with the committee of delegated, we have passed so many policies in this assembly, but this particular challenge, which is being pointed out by the policy itself, I repeat for you, for your sake, Honorable Speaker, the challenge is facing the people of Makueni County, inadequate implementation of policy, legal, and regulatory framework on social protection. Honorable Speaker, there is a very clear policy and legal framework from the national government, but implementation of the same has not been happening. As I said, there was an existing social protection policy in our county since 2021, but the implementation of the same has not been happening. So, Honorable Speaker, now as we get towards passing now this policy, we should know how our policies should be implemented to the latter, because that's very important, that's very key. We can't be doing the donkey work of passing laws, passing policies, passing regulations without implementation, Honorable Speaker. So as we move forward, we should hold the people in charge accountable for following these policies to the latter. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Deputy Leader of the Majority Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to support this motion. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you remember, this is the same floor where I rose and raised issues touching on social welfare of the youth and the kind of degradation they were going through. And after going through this policy, I can see in a way it is trying to address the same issues, and with this in place, when you look at the details of the guidelines, to some extent, it's actually providing a solution or a framework, an entry through which a policy touching on the issue of the youth can be done. One of the key things which I have seen it has really talked about is the question of elderly, orphaned, and vulnerable children issues. The moment you touch on these kind of groups, then automatically you are thinking positive towards the population of the county. When you talk on matters of expanding household capacities who are covered by the social health, that means it also includes the youths, because when the parents who are attached to the youths to some extent are taken care of, the youths are also taken care of. When you look at the issue of the universal health policies being a key focus of this particular policy, then automatically you can see the encumbrance kind of thing is giving to the count and also to the nation of Kenya. It has gone ahead and even talked about the expansion of SHA, which most of the people are still struggling to be actually part of this SHA. It's unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, you find that even we have quite a number of people who have not registered for SHA in our count. But now here we have now a situation where the count has been given guidelines on how they can come up with a policy which can monitor and evaluate how SHA is performing within the count of Makueni, which can become a focus area. In this context, I think the committee has really done a good job and has gone out of its way to provide solutions for the count of Makueni. My only fear would be one, as the leader, my leader of majority has mentioned, that we do not have a scenario whereby we have so many policies which are wonderfully drafted and done, but still getting a lot of dust on the shelves of the libraries of the account. If these policies can be executed and be implemented, then I believe this count will not be the same. We'll not even struggle to be number one. We'll continue being number one, and we'll continue shining in this country of Kenya. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Member for Mlole Maliward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I join my colleagues in support of the motion. One, the recommendation, particularly which is touching on SHA program in support of the elderly and vulnerable. Honorable Speaker, it is worthy not to note that SHA originated from Makueni in the first government in a cabinet paper which you contributed because you sat. Makueni was the first county out of the 47, or the first government out of the 48 governments to introduce universal healthcare program. That is what has been copy-pasted by the executive at national level, and they have admitting that our county is doing recommendable job. And actually that government had some good job. It is just the advancement of the universal health coverage that has been there, where the committee is purely recommending in addition of the resources to facilitate a bigger number. Actually, health, that's a challenge to each and every person, especially now when cancer is the greatest challenge to our people, especially the aged one. Mr. Speaker, the 35% procurement policy brought about the inclusivity. And when we talk about the inclusion of the youth in all departments, then that solves the element and brings in the element of inclusivity in government decision-making and running affairs of the government. And that settles the matter of unemployment and any other matter that affect our youth. Honorable Speaker, it's only that the recommendation have not given time frames, because when it is an open check, then the department might take the latitude of time and never to rush on implementation of this report, Honorable Speaker. So I support the report, and how I wish is that it could have captured the period of implementation. Thank you.
Mover of the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank all the members that have contributed towards supporting this very important policy. Honorable Speaker, social protection should be the core business of any government. Because, Honorable Speaker, if the citizens are not protected from adverse poverty and other elements that affect them and that cause social gaps or stratification, Honorable Speaker, then that government has no business being in place. Honorable Speaker, this government, I have had our county chief, our county boss many times saying that he wants to make government more human. And this policy is going to inject exactly that into its functions, Honorable Speaker. This policy is aimed at creating equality among all, despite their age, despite their backgrounds, Honorable Speaker, because it addresses key issues such as support to good health, support to education. However, Honorable Speaker, with the national government having barred county governments from directly supporting education, and especially education that is not devolved, the education functions that are not devolved, we need to think outside the box on how we can take care of our the school-going age, which is in probably secondary schools and universities, so that these children don't get wasted because of lack of school fees and such. We need to have programs that are targeting and do monitoring and evaluation to know whether what we are actually doing has impact, Honorable Speaker. And our recommendations have spoken into that, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank even the members of this assembly for funding, using their award monies, funding directly programs that support the groups that we are talking about. The elderly, we have seen many wards receiving tents and chairs and other items that support our people back in the wards just to empower them economically, and this is commendable. So, Honorable Speaker, without saying much, I wish to ask this assembly so that we can support our marginalized and vulnerable groups who are represented by some of us in this assembly, so that we can see them empowered, so that we can see a rise in the economic, in the economy of our people, Honorable Speaker, so that we can pass this. And also, I urge that we will be able, the bill is before the social protection bill is before the committee, and the report is almost ready, and I wish we could pass it before we go on recess, so that the governor's assent gives it power to be implemented. Let us not be people, a government that does a lot of good policies, so much paperwork that is commendable, but we don't follow up on the implementation. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the members for supporting this and wish that we could pass it. Thank you.
Honorable members, I put the question that the Assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sport and Social Services, the consideration of the Makueni County Social Protection Policy of the year 2024, and the report was laid on the table of the Assembly on 20th of August, year 2025. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I direct that the clerk prepares a vellum to be transmitted to the governor for assent and henceforth operationalization. Next order.
Order number 9, motion. The report of Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports and Social Services on the consideration of the Makueni County Otrapuan Coronation UPG Policy 2024.
Chairperson, Committee on Gender, you're overworking.
Yes, it's my weakness. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move the following motion, that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports and Social Services on consideration of the Makueni County Ultra-Poor Graduation Policy 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on 20th August 2024. Honorable Speaker, I don't wish to be monotonous because this almost speaks the same language as the social protection policy. So, Mr. Speaker, allow me to go straight to the executive summary, which will inform the members what this policy is about. Ultra poverty remains a significant issue in Makueni County, impacting numerous households. These families face severe challenges such as food insecurity, inadequate assets, poor health, and limited education, which perpetuate a cycle of chronic poverty. Social exclusion further compounds their difficulties, restricting their opportunities for improvement and economic advancement. Traditional microfinance and other poverty alleviation programs have struggled to effectively reach and support this vulnerable population. Most of these initiatives are impeded by high security requirements and are focused on short-term relief rather than long-term sustainable solutions. Consequently, these conventional approaches have not adequately addressed the comprehensive needs required to break the cycle of ultra poverty. In response to these challenges, the Makueni County government has introduced this ultra poor graduation, or the UPG policy. This policy is designed to offer a comprehensive solution to the issue of ultra poverty in the region. It aligns with Kenya's Vision 2030 and supports the UN Sustainable Development Goal 1, which aims to end poverty in all its forms. The UPG policy takes a holistic approach to poverty alleviation. It begins by targeting the ultra-poor, ensuring that the most marginalized individuals are identified and included in the program. Thereafter, immediate support is offered: life skills training, assets transfers, enterprise development, and future planning, which equips individuals with essential knowledge and capabilities for economic reliance and sustainable livelihoods. Future planning is integral to the UPG policy, ensuring beneficiaries are prepared for long-term success through strategies for continued economic and social development. This comprehensive approach is designed to build social economic resilience, reduce dependency, and promote self-sufficiency among the ultra-poor. The UPG policy presents a significant advancement in addressing ultra-poverty in Makueni County by offering tailored, sustainable support to empower individuals. The policy aims to break the cycle of poverty and enhance the overall well-being of the region. This initiative is a crucial step toward achieving broader economic development and prosperity in Makueni County. The UPG policy consists of 5 chapters. If members, you take a look at the policy itself, you're going to see the different chapters and what they entail, because it is a very long document. Honorable Speaker, allow me not to read. However, I would like to define some of the terms to the members. Ultra-poor, these are persons that experience severe deprivations in multiple aspects of their lives. They often lack basic assets and face challenges in meeting their daily needs. The specific challenges faced by the ultra-poor households include limited access to food, education, healthcare, decent clothing, housing, markets, as well as vulnerability due to climatic change impacts. The parameters that will be used to describe the ultra-poor, or the parameters that will be used to when targeting those who should benefit from this sort of programs. In Makueni County, the ultra-poor can be described based on several key parameters that indicate severe deprivation and vulnerability within the society. These parameters will include: 1, food security. Majority of ultra-poor struggle to afford 1 meal a day. Income level. Honorable Speaker, can you find the 2 members beside me out of order, because they are distracted?
Which are these members?
Honorable member for Masongaleni and the honorable member from Kaskia.
A member for Masongaleni and member
They are
for
consulting very
Kaskia.
loudly.
In other words, Honorable Elizabeth is indicating that the words you are saying to each other are drawing our attention.
Yes.
Our emotions. So make them a little bit more silent, so that she doesn't hear. No, not that you are loud. The words are sensitive to her and distracting her.
Yes. And I'm wondering, Honorable Speaker, the member for Masongaleni comes from the most marginalized ward and should be very interested in this policy and the parameters which he needs to look at when identifying the people who will benefit. So he will come back to us as a committee and start telling us that the beneficiaries list was skewed. Honorable Speaker, he needs to be very careful so that he identifies the right people.
Member from Masongaleni,
he needs to listen to our recommendations.
Very few members in this house will be concerned with you to the extent of reminding you to listen, and they are aware of your ward, how it looks like. So that's compassion.
Compassion.
You only acknowledge, accept, and thank. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the parameters again: the food security, income level, access to basic services, nutritional status, housing conditions, asset ownership, social exclusion, and health vulnerability. Ultra-poor graduation. The ultra-poor graduation process will involve a holistic approach which will combine proper targeting of the ultra-poor group formation, capacity building, financial support, asset transfers, and market access to empower households to graduate from extreme poverty and achieve sustainable livelihoods. It's tailored to local context, aiming for long-term impact and resilience against future challenges. Ultra-poor households are organized into groups to facilitate collective action and support. So this will not be on individual basis. These groups may be based on geographic proximity or shared socioeconomic characteristics. Honorable Speaker, having read that out to the members, I wish now to go to our recommendations as a committee. Our observations. During scrutiny of the policy, the committee established the following. The policy has been developed in line with key legal and policy frameworks, including the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the County Governments Act 2012, the PFM Act 2012, Kenya Vision 2030, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and Makueni County Social Protection Policy 2022, among others. One of the main objectives of the policy is to establish a robust legal and institutional framework to address extreme poverty by supporting the ultra-poor households to transition from dependency to sustainable livelihoods. The policy provides for a multi-phase graduation approach that includes targeting, skills training, mentorship, asset transfer, social protection, and linkage to market and financial services. The policy recommends the establishment of a management information system to support data-driven beneficiary selection, case management, and monitoring of service delivery. The policy promotes the protection of vulnerable groups, including women, persons with disability, youth, the elderly, and unpaid care workers by tailoring support mechanisms to address their unique barriers to poverty graduation. The policy outlines provisions of the county government to collaborate with development partners, NGOs, financial institutions, and community-based organizations. The policy calls for development of community-based mentorship and support networks to include continuous psychosocial support, confidence building, and progress tracking for enrolled households. The policy emphasizes the importance of public awareness and behavior change strategies to overcome cultural and social barriers to participation in empowerment programs. The policy establishes a robust monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning framework to track program outcomes, identify implementation gaps, and provide timely feedback to stakeholders. The implementing department is required to produce annual M&A reports. The policy is designed to be implemented over a 5-year period and will be subject to a midterm review in the 3rd year to assess progress and adopt strategies where necessary. The recommendation of the committee, Mr. Speaker, the above committee observations were considered jointly by the Committee on Gender and the respective county executive departments, and the committee hereby recommends that the County Assembly approves the Makueni County UPG Policy 2024.
Of compassion. These are areas where Action Aid has taught them compassion. With a lot of compassion, he has appealed to the chair to grant member from Mazongaleni an opportunity on priority basis to contribute. Member for Kitile, Kituku Ward. Honorable Sebastian Muli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to support the motion, though Honorable for Masongaleni, what he has alluded to me is not correct. Masongaleni is more vulnerable than Nikitisi Gethuki. So, I support the motion, and which can be done by this assembly to support Masongaleni. I support. As a member from Gethuki Ward, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
This motion, you know, Mr. Speaker, when you look at Makueni, we are highly semi-arid. And in the index of minerals, Makueni has no specific mineral which can be relied on by the population. And you find that when it comes to issue of poverty, we still have no major ways of creating employment for our people who are not employed. As a result, we were almost getting endangered in terms of poverty index being compared with other areas. So this UPG is one of the best policies which will be able to empower people from Makueni to be able to find a way of living. In a way, I find this one being actually a gold mine for the people of Makueni. Because anybody who is thirsty for doing something to empower themselves to make an earning, they have now an avenue through which they can pursue and be able to get assistance through the county government. So to me, I would say this is one of the best policies to have as a county, because it is somehow bridging the gap of poverty if it is well utilized. Recently, I went through Mombasa Road. And Mr. Speaker, sir, you bear me witness that in some of the specific towns, you find youth standing within the main roads, selling different small goods, running after the drivers of the lorries, cars. Some are even auctioning onions, some are auctioning oranges. And that tells me something. If they can get a way of getting extra funding, these are people who are hardworking. They can be able to drive the economy of this Makueni county to greater heights. The only thing which has been lacking is the question of source of capital, and which is being addressed through the UPG. So to me, I would say this is the right step to the right direction for the people to move in the right direction. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the motion.
Leader of the Minority Party.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also stand to support this motion. To congratulate Honorable Mutindi again, the Chair for Gender, for coming up with very good proposals. Honorable Speaker, when it comes to these ultra poor communities, Honorable Speaker, it is a good, it's a very good platform now for the county to use it to sort some of these very pressing issues. Honorable Speaker, I want to also ask my brothers, Honorable Brian and Honorable Sebastian. Honorable Sebastian is also my very great friend, Honorable Speaker, having competed with him at the by-election in 2019-2020. But long after that, we became very good friends. Honorable Speaker, it is not a matter of where people are majority being ultra-poor, Honorable Speaker. Even ultra-poor people happen in our towns. Like I come from a very big town, the Kibwezi town, Honorable Speaker, and there are sometimes very poor cases, Honorable Speaker. And if we have a framework, as now being proposed here by the Honorable Chair for Gender, I think, Honorable Speaker, we would have sorted these matters very amicably, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it will also call for now national institutions also being able to follow up with the county to help in these cases, Honorable Speaker. Just a case in point
in my local area where I come from, Kalungu sublocation, we've a very poor case of an old woman, Honorable Speaker, who was beaten by snakes 6 times over a period of more than 2 months, Honorable Speaker. And we spend a lot of monies and time to help this lady to recover. In fact, she was admitted at Kibwezi Sub-County Hospital for more than 2 months. Luckily, she had some resistance, and not just because of the resistance, but blood levels were too low, even to make the movement across the border, Honorable Speaker. And that's how she survived those snake bites, Honorable Speaker. If we had a program or a framework to deal with these issues, this woman would have been taken in by the county government and maybe helped even before the snake bites could happen, Honorable Speaker. Because some of these vulnerable groups, sometimes they don't have the information. Most of the times, they cannot have a radio to listen to these news, sometimes to public participation events, things like that, Honorable Speaker. Sometimes they don't even attend social functions. They even don't have religious groupings, Honorable Speaker, because they feel they are marginalized, Honorable Speaker. So this platform, which is being brought by the policy as recommended by the Honorable Mutindi, Honorable Speaker, I think it is going to sort most of these issues. I will agree with my friends that sometimes implementation of the same has always been a big challenge. Yes, because the Honorable Chair for the Committee on Implementation, who happens to be my friend from Ketese Kethuke, Honorable Speaker, are chosen not to be following up on these matters. Honorable Speaker, it's very unfair for people of Makueni to have this assembly passing very good resolutions. Then the committee chair for implementation chooses not to represent those voices in his committee, Honorable Speaker. I'm surprised. Because it has never happened. In 2013, 2017, it has been one of the most, 2013, 2022, it has been one of the most active committees. Because I chaired that committee with the Honorable Kitunga, Honorable Speaker, and we were even following up on those resolutions. But since 2022, when the Honorable Sebastian Moli came in, Honorable Speaker, we must do something for people of Makueni to know. Honorable Speaker, it is our committee. We had, my party secretary general is reminding me, it is a minority party committee. Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, I know we are going to do something because we had already donated. Now that the donation may not have been actualized, Honorable Speaker, we need to think about how to help the people of Makueni, Honorable Speaker. Because when members stand here, they are saying they are very good documents to follow. But we cannot do anything because somebody has chosen not to implement those issues, Honorable Speaker. Like the recommendations by the Honorable Mutindi on our tropo and the social support, Honorable Speaker, those are very good recommendations. But without the input of the Committee on Implementation, Honorable Speaker, it will be of no use to pass these resolutions, then nobody is following up on them. So I challenge the chair before we reclaim and reinstate the committee to the minority party, Honorable Speaker, I ask the chair to do something about the same so that people of Makueni can benefit from the same. Honorable Speaker, when I was also reading through those issues, I wanted to remind the chair that we must see budgets being associated with these policies, Honorable Speaker. Because like in our place where I come from, there are very unpopular guys who go around saying they will connect you with electricity all over the place. But there is no budget to the same effect, Honorable Speaker. So those are just hearsays. Those are just stories. Sometimes we may call them pettiness. But I want to tell the chair that we need to see the budgets being associated with these two bills, two policies, Honorable Speaker, so that we can see. Like we need to see some cash transfers happening. We need to see livelihood support happening across the county, Honorable Speaker. It is not a one-sided place. Like I understand in Kikumbulu South, we issue blankets and sometimes food stuff to the old people, Honorable Speaker. Now that should happen as a HQ intervention, Honorable Speaker. Social services, like when we talk about SHA, we expect SHA to be seen to be working through this ultra poor policy, Honorable Speaker. So SHA can also be a part of the bill, Honorable Speaker. Then we need to look at the targeted interventions, Honorable Speaker. Like the women who are beyond 80 years, sometimes they are not supported by the national cash transfer, Honorable Speaker. And cash transfer has always been all over the place, Honorable Speaker. Even the first world, there are cash transfers all over the place, Honorable Speaker. So it should not be like somebody is going against the norms, Honorable Speaker. This will also, we need to be told, like the chair has spoken of 5 years, then they will also do a checklist within the first 2.5 years, Honorable Speaker. We need to see poverty being reduced in these ultra-poor communities, Honorable Speaker. We need to see, because we cannot be pumping money where we can't get the results, Honorable Speaker. We need also to see whether the health of these people has improved, Honorable Speaker. Like I have said, I have given a case for Kikumbulu South, where an old woman who is a neighbor to myself, Honorable Speaker, has been suffering. And we have been there. Like I want to commend my local assistant chief, who has been working very closely with me to make sure that we help that family, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we need to see those. We also, like the Honorable Bishop, has spoken of matters to do with the help with capital to these young people, Honorable Speaker. We need to see those interventions, Honorable Speaker, being metered and being told how much we have progressed as a county, Honorable Speaker. And in the same breath, Honorable Speaker, like in Kikumbulu South, this week we are issuing 18 motorbikes to young men and women for Kikumbulu South to support them in their hustles, Honorable Speaker. This is not like the 64 shillings, which is being given by some other quarters, Honorable Speaker. That is what we're going to do. We started acting on these issues even before the Honorable Chair brought a document for us to pass in this assembly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I wish members you can support with a big yes, so that the people of Makueni, the people I represent, Honorable Speaker. You know, I just left the bracket of youth, Honorable Speaker, just recently, but I still associate with them a lot because they are my primary members of my clan, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and congratulations for helping this assembly to move forward with these social things. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well, we congratulate you as you cross over. Is it from 35 to 36? That was yesterday? Okay. Well done. Very old. Very old, well done. He's no longer a young person. He's an elder now. Member for Kidikiti Award.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would like to remind my learned friend, Ms. Kalunda, that that time, 2017 to 2022, I was there when he was the chair of that committee. And due to the problems which was between you and your vice chair, Miriam, you never met. You never met. And that one is in the record. Secondly, I, as the chair of that committee, my work is just to wait all the resolution made by the speaker. After 6 months, that's the time when I normally demand for those resolutions. And I think the ones which were for that committee, they were for, and we tackled them properly. And there was no any question. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Jen, elder, don't respond to everything. No, you are too old, that's 6. Proceed, Honorable Jen.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to support this motion, and I'm a member of that committee. Thank you for understanding me. minority member. This is a policy, Honorable Speaker, which is cross-cutting all the wards of Makueni County, and it is a policy which is tackling all the vulnerable members, all people of Makueni. And I know this will be a platform for all members of Makueni who cannot speak on their behalf. It is a policy which is going to address their problems. It is our wish we see a transformative action taken place in the department to make sure all the programs are committed to address the vulnerability of our members of Makueni. So, Honorable Speaker, I stand to support this policy, and I believe once it will be passed, it will bring a transformation of our people of Makueni. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir.
Mover of the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank all the members because they have supported the motion in good faith, Honorable Speaker. This will give us a structured way of empowerment, Honorable Speaker, not the programs we have been seeing around, which some of us have said our esteemed citizens end up with 64 shillings in their pockets. But this one is going to target the right people, train them, mentor them, so that the indicators show very clearly how they have graduated from the level of dependency to the next level where they can sustain themselves. Honorable Speaker, so we expect to see poverty reduction amongst our people, as the people have requested. As the representatives of the people, we cannot play ostrich. Our members are vulnerable. Our citizens are, a good percentage is poor, and we must be seen to lead them out of that poverty, and not just speaking without following up on what we agree. Honorable Speaker, as we want to task the Committee on Implementation, I want to task the departments which are mandated to carry out these programs so that they can be serious in implementing. They should not wait for a committee of the Assembly to follow up on them so that they can implement. They asked for those jobs to sit there and implement these programs that we want these programs to uplift our people. They are the people tasked with that performance. So we want to urge the Department of Gender and every other department that is mandated to do work for its people so that we can see our people moving from one level to the other. The spirit of devolution was that the county governments will be closer to the people so that because they are the ones who will understand their people better, because they are near them. Honorable Speaker, this is not being achieved also properly because the national government decided to keep most of the monies up there. And that is what they are using to run around and lie to our people instead of properly protecting our people. So, Honorable Speaker, I would wish that also the national government could do something so that more money is trickled down to our county governments because they are constrained in carrying out some of these programs because of the competing interests. So, Honorable Speaker, I wish to ask the members to pass this motion with a big aye. Thank you.
Honorable members, I Put the question that the Assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports and Social Services on the consideration of Makueni ultra poor graduation policy of the year 2024 laid on the table of the Assembly on 24th of August, year 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Confirm quorum. You have quorum? Honorable members, I'm informed that there's no quorum. And then therefore, was a member in when I was putting the question? Honorable Jen, take your seat. Yes. Honorable members, I can confirm we have quorum. I put the question again for vote, that this assembly adopt the report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports and Social Services on the consideration of Makueni County ultra poor graduation policy of the year 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on August of the year 2025. Will as many as of that opinion say aye. Many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I direct the clerk of the County Assembly to prepare the vellum for proclamation by the Speaker and onward for assent by His Excellency the Governor, and further the Committee on Gender to within 60 days, provide to this House the report or the work plan on the implementation of the two policies approved by this House. One is an ultra poor graduation policy, and the other one is social protection policy. Now, Honorable Elizabeth, you indicated that there's a bill related to this policy, ultra poor bill. The clerk, what is the status? Bill. There's another bill. Yeah, the respective bills are processed as follows. The social protection bill will be processed tomorrow at 2:30. Tomorrow, is it tomorrow at 2:30 or 9:30? Yeah. Social protection bill, committee of the whole, tomorrow at 2:30. Then ultra poor graduation bill. The bill was presented 2 weeks ago. 14 days are over. To be presented to my office for onward transmission to the government printer for publication. Thereafter that, we shall conduct a public participation and expect your committee to present a report, possibly at the shortest time possible. Chairperson Liason, take note of that it is not useful to have a policy, particularly the ultra poor graduation policy, without the bill. So we need to prioritize that in the activities of public participation and oversight. Next order. What's your point of order, Leader of the Majority?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it's unlike me to pursue some matters, but I'm forced to do this. A few weeks ago, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Katumo from Bunge Ward alleged that I was given money by one Professor Kaloki to overthrow the government of His Excellency, Mutula Kilonzo Jr. The member alleged he had substantial evidence to this effect and promised to substantiate in the subsequent sitting. He never did so and tried to withdraw and apologize, which unfortunately was against the standing orders. I think that was your ruling, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the same member went to a local radio station with the same allegations, and I have the recorded clips of NFM for that conversation with a radio presenter. He informed the radio presenter he had evidence and will produce same evidence in due course to the station for onward broadcasting to listeners, which he has not done to date. And those listeners include the people who elected me to this house, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the matter has come to this chamber severally. Understanding Order 111, and the matter has come to this chamber severally, understanding Order 111, and you promised to give directions for the same. Mr. Speaker, I'm a distinguished member of the society and an elected member of the County Assembly. His Excellency Mutula Kilonzo Jr. is my relative and my neighbor back at Kilyungi village. We come from that particular village called Kilyungi. These wild, unfounded allegations have severely, socially, mentally, and economically impacted negatively to the image to my image, which I have struggled for years to build. And I pray that you may dispense the matter urgently, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable members, on the point of order raised by Honorable Kisungi Wakatete, as you may recall, this is a pending matter, and I will direct that the member who substantiates his allegations this week on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. You've heard the concerned member. He has a side of concerns, and therefore it is fair that the EU alleges then has a responsibility of substantiating or owning up. Further to that, Honorable Kisungi, you have made a statement. Therefore, I direct that you table that statement. The copy of that statement, clerk, to be conveyed to Honorable Eli Katumo. If indeed you have other information or evidence that you think is linking to such, because your allegations are that after he made the allegations on the floor of the House, he further went to make same allegations on a radio station. Is that what you say?
That's true, Honorable Speaker. He went to NLFM and was with one Kisamba, and I have the recordings with me. Of that particular, I've just been waiting for the House to dispense with the matter the way it was, but now I do have the evidence from NFM on the same. Thank you.
What is it, minority whip? Not minority whip, Honorable Moki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was in this assembly when those allegations were made. And Speaker, you gave directions as it has been reported by the leader majority. And Mr. Speaker, because we say knowledge is power and wisdom is God. Honorable Speaker, I was here in the Second Assembly. I was a member of the Procedure and the Rules Committee, and I was also a member of the Powers and Privileges Committee. Both committees, Honorable Speaker, you are the chair. And where this matter has reached now, Honorable Speaker, I think is not a matter to be debated within the House because we have a special committee that deals with those matters. Honorable Kisungi is supposed to approach the Committee of Powers and Privileges and give them the matter. We handled several cases in the Second Assembly related to members complaining to each other, abusing each other, such issues. So, Honorable Speaker, to me, in my opinion, this matter is supposed to be handled by the Committee of Powers and Privileges, Mr. Speaker. It is beyond this assembly now. It is a matter of the committee that deals with such matters. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the member who raised the matter in this assembly, though he is absent right now, is a member of he's a member of the Muungano Party, where my senior, the SG, is a leader. He should have advised him beforehand not to raise such matters on the floor of the House. Once they were raised on the floor of the House, they became a property of this House. And because he went ahead and the Speaker asked him to clarify, we expect the member to come and clarify on the same floor of the House, even if the matter has been escalated to that committee. The member, if he wants to withdraw, must come and speak on his own behalf, but not his leader coming to speak for him, because those are very grave matters that are being talked about. If he has evidence, he should also bring it to this House, because we don't have the advantage to sit in that committee. Because I am also interested to know whether my leader of majority is actually doing those things, because I would be party to moving a vote of no confidence, because he is my leader of the majority. So, Mr. Speaker, we will not have such precedents where people come and say reckless things on this floor of this House. We have abused the floor of this House. We have demeaned the dignity of this House, and we need to bring sanity back to this House. And we shall begin with this case, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Elizabeth, I hear you. You are concerned about the two parties. One is a member of your party, and therefore you want to make a decision as to so as to ensure that the integrity of the House is not demeaned. Conversely, that if the person or the member who alleged, then must also clear himself. So at this point, Honorable Member, it's not about who has alleged or to who allegations are made to. I think the interest, and I hear who, is about the facts and the truth to come out, because it's involving honorable members of this House, so that the matter is rested. I have with me Honorable Jonathan Muthoka. Don't cancel your request, followed by Honorable Mutie, then Honorable Leader of Minority, then Honorable Mwoki.
Mr. Speaker, I am standing just on a point of order, wondering whether the member who spoke was really in order to respond to a matter which already had done and made the ruling, to respond on a matter whereby the issue at hand is already on the table of the county assembly. So it has already gone beyond, as our honorable member has just spoken about. But to me, I would say, I would wish you find the member out of order, because he's not even affected by the sentiments which were made by the honorable member who is not in the House now. Two, there was no need of him to raise the matter about a member who is not even here. As you said, he should have waited for the member to be around and raise that matter on Wednesday, because this is going to lead to a debate, yet the culprit is not available to defend himself. In law, there's what we call the vicarious liability, whereby the matter rests with the holder or with the owner who has actually issued the sentiments. According to the law, Honorable Mwoki is totally out of order, because there's no vicarious liability of the sentiments which were issued by the Honorable Katumo. Reasons why he did it, nobody knows. It is well known to him. So how can we discuss such kind of matters? How can we even make a decision to have this matter be taken to the Committee on Powers? It is until we hear from the member. which is going to be done on Wednesday as per your ruling. So I find him out of order, and he should not even talk about the matter.
Honorable Moki was not out of order. He was persuading the chair to consider having the matter taken. I'll rule on that. He is expressing a request. He's not contributing in the finality. You've noticed his voice is not as it is. Because as his chair on procedure and rules and powers and privileges, he was reminding the chair that we have handled such cases before. And one case was involving Honorable Elizabeth Mutindi and another member not in this house, who is not serving. Honorable Mutie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are reasons as to why we have several committees formed in this House with different mandates, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I sympathize with my colleague, friend, Kisungi, whom we served with in the second term together, Mr. Speaker, I would wish to say this before this House. Today, it is Kisungi versus Katumo. Tomorrow, it will be another. We had similar cases. In fact, one involving Elizabeth Mutindi. There was another one involving Honorable Sharon, and others that I will not mention before this House. And Mr. Speaker, the reason as to why from this side, and I'm also persuading you from your chair that you direct
me. So I was not obliged to bring any evidence to this assembly. So, Honorable Speaker, since the matter was on the floor, was brought on the floor, and the two members are my good friends, Honorable Speaker. My only interest is so that we don't use this as a precedence, so that people can come here to this floor and say anything and get away with it, Honorable Speaker. And the member in question is even a member of the Speaker's panel, Mr. Speaker. We cannot allow such serious allegations to be spoken about our members, and then someone wants us to go committee way, because when the group is smaller, there's a reason why some things are given to the Committee on General Oversight, because the level of compromise is smaller. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Leader of the minority of 2 minutes to 5.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And true to the spirit, Honorable Mutindi's information is not helping me in any way. Honorable Speaker, I want to also voice something about the case at hand, Honorable Speaker. You know, the standing orders are very clear. Honorable Katumo made those allegations, and through his choice, he could not substantiate. He said he would withdraw. That stops at that, because even if Katumo comes next week and he still says he will withdraw, the standing orders gives the Speaker to ask the member to leave the floor for the remainder of the sitting, Honorable Speaker. Then that goes, don't make noise, Honorable Maneno, because you've heard how Honorable, sorry, Honorable Speaker, I want to continue. Honorable Speaker, that stops at that. And the only prerogative the chair is given is to allow the member to leave for the remainder of the sitting day, Honorable Speaker. Then the next thing, we'll go straight to the Committee on Powers and Privileges, Honorable Speaker. That is the only destination we will have this case going to, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, we will ask the Honorable Member for Getundu, the Honorable Member for His Excellency the Governor, Honorable Speaker, to go to court to find some justice there, Honorable Speaker. But since he has taken the route of coming to this assembly and tabling a statement for him, even including other things outside this assembly, like NFM, where there is a debate and live show, Honorable Speaker, that calls for a lot of factors, Honorable Speaker, before we exhaust the circumstances we have, Honorable Speaker. So I want to advise the Honorable Leader of Majority that Honorable Gatumo, when Honorable Gatumo will come here, he will leave that session, but the Speaker will have to call for a more those are the standing orders. Those are the standing orders, Honorable Speaker. These are not my rules. These are the Speaker's rules and the standing orders. They are very clear. The Honorable Gatumo will leave for the remainder of the sitting, Honorable Speaker, for the first instance. Then the second instance, where Honorable Mutindi exercised the same powers last term, Honorable Speaker, she left for 3 sitting days, Honorable Speaker. Then the destination was the powers and privileges, Honorable Speaker. So I can tell you, members, powers and privileges will be the solution to these issues, Honorable Speaker. You cannot connive, you cannot do anything beyond powers and privileges. Then the other option, outside this assembly, the structure of this assembly is the court. Honorable Gatumo felt he was disadvantaged, Honorable Speaker, and he went to court himself. He went to court himself, and that is why we are in a very big quagmire. The Honorable Esther is not able to find herself in any committees, Honorable Speaker. Those are the factors we are looking at. One, this assembly will work through the powers and privileges. Why powers and privileges? Because the Speaker can make decisions which are not in tandem with the Constitution of Kenya, with other laws of Kenya. That's why there is a committee to help the Speaker make those decisions. Otherwise, the framers of the standing orders and the Constitution of Kenya would have given the task to the Speaker. The Speaker can only make the decision of helping you to leave this plenary, Honorable Speaker, for the last sitting, Honorable Speaker. That is the only way, that's the only place the Speaker will exercise his authority. But the standing orders gives the Speaker a bigger liability to look at more memberships to committees. A committee by the name Powers and Privileges, normally chaired by the Speaker. But members, 5 members who will help the Speaker to make those decisions, Honorable Speaker. The other way is you go to court. So Honorable Kizungi can go to court because he is involving a live radio station, Honorable Speaker. He is involving other public forums elsewhere, Honorable Speaker. But I want also to ask the Speaker, because we had the same case last term, Honorable Speaker, where a member said we normally get money through a window somewhere, Honorable Speaker. And we handled that under powers and privileges, Honorable Speaker. And that is what is going to happen. It is not the purview of the Speaker or the party wiper to tell us what will happen. But the standing orders will lead us on how to do. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I stand with the standing orders and the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and all other laws governing the conduct of members in this assembly and elsewhere. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Fair enough. All honorable members. Order. Take your cool. Resume your seats. Resume your seat. Resume your seat. Yes, I want to give you a microphone. Resume your seat. It's past 5. So I will give you an opportunity to speak in the next sitting. Yes, it is past 5, and therefore, Honorable Manzia, you out, take your order. Order. Order, honorable members, your requests were more than, you are not alone. There were so many of you, including Honorable Maneno, Honorable Esther, Honorable Manzia, Honorable Mwaki, but all of you may not speak. And you don't have to wait. You know why? Honorable Kalunda is referring to mandate of committees. The subject matter at hand now is understanding order number 111. But he is entitled to advise the Speaker when that time will come in future, how powers and privileges will be applied. In the circumstances, we will invoke provisions of standing order number 111, that is on Wednesday at 2:30, where Honorable Katumbo will be required to apply that standing orders together with the 132 and any other applicable standing order and respond to the issues as they were raised. If you have grounds and reasons, Honorable Mwoki, as to why that matter is not satisfactory, then the member who is aggrieved has a right to, by way of a statement or a letter to the Powers and Privileges Committee, to do so. Just like Honorable Gatumo, as on this floor of ours, made a statement, a formal one, indicating that his life is in danger, and his communication has reached the committee. So now that there is a complaint before the committee, Honorable Gatumo will be asked to appear before the committee and provide evidence. And then the respondent will be asked to come and respond to the issues as raised. And both will be required to come along with documents, recordings, and witnesses to support their case. So that is not my burden. It is a burden to prove. So I will be there waiting for that case. Even other members an issue, I will pick that. There are other cases whereby, like Honorable Elizabeth Mutindi filed a case with powers and privileges. She didn't want to bring it on the floor. And she has not said what happened. So the Powers and Privileges Committee deals with many cases. And up to now, she didn't mention what it was. She just said, I took a case whereby something happened. And the matter was resolved. But the matter was eventually resolved between the two members. And they withdrew the matter. Yes, after forming a coalition. And they apologized to each other. One apologized, the other one accepted the apology, and they formally moved the committee that the matter has been resolved between the two members. Now, should the two wish to take that route, we are still open. So, all your horses, we are about to begin to deal with this matter. We have not yet even gone to table of contents. So, don't rush. We are here to chapter 1. Time being 17:00 hours, the house stands adjourned until tomorrow, Tuesday, 26th of August, year 2025 at 09:30 hours.